Brothers and sisters, soldiers and soldierettes, I know you're doing great, because if you are alive and breathing, we are back to conquer another day, and another day, and another day. Because when you got that power of determination, no matter the shortcomings, mistakes we might make, things that happen along the way, we got that strong spirit within, that great divine spirit within, brother or sister, family member. If we truly look within and fight any inner battle, we'll make it through anything, especially with that divine. So I thank those that take the time to listen to a brother, because there are many great brothers and sisters out here amongst the toxicity in this world, and that's within our families and outside our families. And I love doing this, and for those who take the time to listen to a brother, I appreciate you, current subscribers, new subscribers. And this is another edition of EBX Discussion. And let's get to those honors, shall we? I honor thy ancestors, the righteous spirit that is alive within our families and outside our families, of our lovely brothers and sisters out here, the righteous ones, that's pushing for that good energy, knowledge, power, things that can help us in the present and benefit us in the future. It's what we should always be striving for. We stay on this walk long enough and really get serious with it, passion to become, what I like to say, second nature. And you'll start just looking up different things. But before I get to talking about what I want to talk about here, anybody that transitioned in your family, in all of our families, may they rest in peace and in power. May their spirit live on through all of us. And may all of our families prosper, and everything we touch turn to gold. And I honor thy mother, honor thy father, honor thy sister, and honor thy brother. And I welcome anyone in that has a true, genuine, divine spirit within. And I appreciate the reachers and teachers that's putting out that good energy by any means necessary. And what was in my spirit to talk about today is the 7 symptoms of stress. 7 symptoms of stress. Kind of fumbled that. And it's nothing that no one can look up. It's just one of those meditative moments I always talk about, where we stop and just think about things and really think about the drastic effects of stress, along with a lot of other things in this life. But something you hear me say time and time again, stress is the root of all sickness, and then everything else will follow that's connected to that stress. So again, this is nothing no one else can look up. Just want to shed a little light on it. I like to take words we use and other things we use and other words we use in our life all the time and kind of look it up and break it down. So we're going to go through the 7 symptoms, and I'll have little side notes. And as I said before, a lot of the symptoms are the same as this thing that we had going around that you breathe, same symptoms. And so that's why I wanted to kind of break it down. And as I go into these symptoms, I don't want to act like I'm definitely, as a lot of us are, when we mature and we are true and in tune with oneself, we are able to control ourselves a lot better. And I'm saying that to say I don't want to come off that I do have control, way more control than I used to have, but I don't want to come off like, nothing bothers me, and I don't have, little concerns here and there, and I don't have challenges and things that happen, so I don't want to come off like that. So that's why I look up things like this to break it down. So, and why do we look up things, brothers and sisters, our reachers and teachers? Salute, whether in our families or outside our families, so we can be aware of things and then begin to fix them and change them. So that's why I say that, Again, what I like to say, I suggest, teach, and give advice. So bear with me, brothers and sisters, as we talk about these 7 symptoms of stress. And the first one out the gate is difficulty breathing. Now, I don't know, everybody's different. Everybody's body is different. I breathe pretty good, as far as I know. I breathe pretty good. But it say difficulty in breathing. Remember I said it has similar symptoms of other things that can get us sick. So that's why I say stress is the root. So in moments of stress, and this is for me also, we have to stop and pause and keep ourselves from getting, because we're human beings. We're going to have heated discussions and, things happen in our life might make us breathe a little hard. But when we have practice on controlling ourselves and reframing ourselves from jumping off what I always say impulses or emotions, we can regulate our breathing. And I've learned from some teachers in the past about taking breathing exercises, like to ourselves, we stop and breathe in and and breathe out. I kind of fumbled the mic, but yeah. And you breathe in and breathe out. But it takes practice, and we have to be aware of these things to do this, because this world we live in is so busy. A lot of us don't stop and think about breathing just for 5 minutes or so. But that's a good thing to do when you're in a heated discussion or an intense situation. So that's the number 1 symptom. When you're aware of it, then you can figure out ways to deal with our stress better. And here's number 2. Panic attacks. I used to have those back in the day, in the past, where you just feel a little nervous, like speaking per se. Like speaking for me, I could sound good and speak good, but inside I'd be really, really nervous. And I finally fought that battle. It took a while. So stress can give you panic attacks. So that's when we have to practice meditation and learning how to calm down and not be taken back sometimes when we do kind of maybe jump off an emotion. It's okay. When you're self-aware, things like that won't get to you. You'll reflect and introspect, think about what you did, and maybe go back and talk to, or whatever the situation we're in, whether you're conversing with somebody or whatever it is, person, place, or thing that make you get those little anxiety attacks. Because I still get them sometimes too. But again, when you're aware of these things, you can regulate them. Okay, panic attacks is number 2. We're going to move on to number 3. Blurred eyesight or sore eyes. Now, my eyesight is pretty good, and I think that's just, in most cases, like in my family, we wear glasses. About everybody in my family wear glasses. And I remember I used to have migraines, and I would get blurred vision. And a lot of times when I got those migraines, a lot of it was from stress. And you can even get overexcited and, get your blood pressure up and kind of, might even get a little headache. But most of the times when you get those migraines, it's from something that's probably negative most of the time. And I haven't got them in a while, because it's like a lot of things I cut out, like I said on the podcast. When I looked up stress and seen the symptoms, it's a lot of things that I really, really tried not to do. I work harder at it. Because when you're self-aware is the best education. When you're finally aware of things, then you can change it. So blurred eyesight ties into stress. Along with other things, it's not just stress. It's other things that we have in our lives that can cause our eyesight to be blurry. But stress is definitely one of them. So we're going to move on to number 4, because that was number 3. We're going to move on to number 4, sleep problems. I sleep pretty good. Now, if you can't sleep, then you might want to do a little research on thyself, within yourself, and see what it is, or maybe talk to a doctor or somebody that specializes in sleeping problems. And some of it is, I don't know, maybe hereditary, but it all starts with stress. So if you're having sleeping problems, check into it. Don't just, brush it off and think it's just, if it's happening a lot and you waking up when you don't want to, or you're having bad dreams all the time, check into it, research it. Research those dreams that you're having. I always say Google your dreams. And then you can get an idea what your dream means, and then that will lead to how you can fix your sleeping problems if you have any. Remember, that ties into stress. Okay, that was number 4. We're gonna move on to number 5, fatigue. Now, I've experienced this, and that's from not getting enough sleep or eating right. As I said in the podcast, we have to watch what we eat late at night because it plays a part in our energy in the morning. So if you're fatigued all the time, you might want to check your schedule. Make sure it's not too tight. We can't over schedule ourselves. We have to keep ourselves, my beautiful word, organized. And these things aren't easy. It takes practice. It takes experiencing things and being aware, as I already say. But it comes back to that. Most of the time, you just have to be aware of these things. And don't just brush them off. Pay attention to them and study them. Each thing, one at a time. So fatigue is, fatigue was number 5. Now we're going to move on to number 6. Muscle aches and headaches. I just talked about that. So now remember, it's not just stress, it's other things too, but stress can be a part of it. So muscle aches and headaches, if you're having this a lot, again, check your schedule. Check who's in your circle, see where this energy is coming from, amongst other things. So that's number 6, muscle aches and headaches. And I remember I used to get those migraines, and migraines, because you get your head be banging, and then you get blurred vision, then it goes down to your stomach and you feel sick. And again, most of the time I got those migraines, it was from something that stressed me. And I haven't had a migraine like that, I have to say, probably a good 10 years, maybe even 15 years. Because, again, I said, actually, I didn't know about the symptom of stress then, but I remember I used to have those headaches all the time. So it's certain things that I had stopped doing. And I did start paying attention to my diet, because I think your diet can have something to do with you getting headaches too. Food plays a part too in our body. Food is always going, our intake. This for me, this for oneself too, this for me too. So that's another one. Muscle aches and headaches, that was number 6. Now we're gonna move on to number 7. Remember what I said at the beginning, that these symptoms are the same symptoms as this thing that was going around that you breathe in and get sick. And this is the most vital one that most people felt when they got sick. Chest pains and high blood pressure. Chest pains is a vital one, because I'll admit, every so often, I haven't felt it in a while, but you get those little chest pains, and we have to pay attention to those. Again, this is for myself too. We got to pay attention to those little chest pains we get. Don't just ignore them. Check it out. Do something to see what it is. I know we as men, myself too, we don't like to go to the doctor, but again, we can't overlook things. A lot of us have nurses in the family, maybe a doctor in the family. We in a day of information, we could find out things, but at some point we probably will have to go to the doctor. But again, like I said, this is another symptom. It's another way to be aware. You look up things like I'm doing right now. Chest pains and high blood pressure. Stress, root of all sickness, high blood pressure. And we all know, especially melanated brothers and sisters, we know about that high blood pressure. So that ties into your diet too and what we eat. So that was just a little something. I hope I went through them good. I hope you understood them. Like I say, anybody can look this up, but I'm just shedding a little light on it, because sometimes we don't stop and really think about the symptoms of stress and how it can affect you and how it can lead to so many wrong things sometimes, and stress is a mother hubber. Real talk. Difficulty breathing. Are you kidding me? Just something as much as stress can mess with your breathing, your sleeping, your vision, chest pains, so that's why we just have to, be careful in different things we do, and, try our best to keep ourselves in a calm state and be able to discuss things and not let ourselves get, taken in by outside things that make us stress, because it's all kind of things out here that can stress you. And man, and it's people that stress will make you take yourself out. Stress will make you take somebody else out. That's why I say stress is nothing to play with. If you feel like you didn't get it broke down good enough for me, go look it up yourself and break it down. Even write it down, because I got it wrote down too. And I actually did another podcast about this, and I just wanted to kind of talk about it, bring it back up, and just let brothers and sisters know, children, my family, anyone listening, that how bad and how effective, how toxic stress can be. That's why we have to watch what we indulge ourselves in, and be careful who we connect to, especially online. Have to be very careful, because like I say, we don't want to, in this social media world, you better learn the art of navigation, and in life in general, because all it takes is one small, toxic, wrong thing, whatever it is, and can have a ripple effect and blow up and be all over social media. You know what I'm saying? But that's just one aspect, because it's a way bigger world than this social media. I'm just using that as an example. As when you don't pay attention to something, whether it's stress or something toxic, and you just, suppress it and act like it's not there, it just fester. And again, this is for me too. And I've experienced this. Like I say, I teach experiences, suggestions, and advice, and I've experienced that. Not dealing with things, not just in ourselves, just in life in general, and the best way we can. We're not going to do everything perfect, but just because we have a challenge in life, we can still try to teach through our challenges. We can teach as we learn. We can learn as we teach. It's a beautiful thing, and it's beautiful when we're able to do that and not be feel some kind of way, and just teach and give good energy the best way we can, because that's what it's all about. It's not about how perfect we can be. It's about how much we can teach, how much energy we can get out there, because it's not a lot, but some brothers and sisters out there that's not having a great life. And I will never, act like, I'm sitting on this cloud and not aware of those that aren't having a great life out there. I do acknowledge that, and may they reach their goal. May they find their purpose and why they're here in this world, because everybody is on this planet for a reason. It just depends on that individual, what choice, what route they take. And if you take the stressful route, then you're gonna have all these symptoms. So again, you having different aches and pains and different things going on in your body, look up stress and see if it's any one of these symptoms. And I'm gonna give a bonus one: indigestion or heartburn. Stress can cause that. Ain't that crazy how stress can cause all these things? And it's really serious. It's really serious, because stress is worse than cigarettes. Stress can bring on depression. Stress can bring on anxiety. Stress can make your mind wander if you're not self-aware. So that's just why I wanted to read the definition of it and go through it. And I want to read off those symptoms plus the bonus one more time. And so just so it can get into our subconscious. And okay, we're going to go. And thank those that took the time to listen. I appreciate you and salute. And we're going to go to number 1, difficulty breathing. So study that if you're experiencing that. That's number 1. We're going to go to number 2, panic attacks, another symptom of stress. Again, research if you're feeling that, if it happens, if it occurs a lot. Number 3, blurred eyesight or sore eyes. Okay, number 4, sleep problems. You having that? Research it, study it, pinpoint it. See why you're having it. And number 5, fatigue. If I said that right, yeah. Number 5, fatigue. That's number 5. Okay, number 6, muscle aches and headaches. And number 7, chest pains and high blood pressure. Man. And the bonus one, indigestion or heartburn. So you feeling any of that, amongst other things, it could be stress. So try to keep yourself in a righteous space. Be the best of ourselves the best way we can. Love thy brother, love thy sister, love thy father, love thy mother. And keep breathing life, and life will breathe into us. And have little stress or no stress at all. And I call down that great protection from our great divine for ourselves, from ourselves, so we don't become our own worst enemy, and have no stress, so we can always be our best and do our best. And that's my thought. And I thank those, just wanted to share the breakdown of stress and how serious it really is. And again, I'm not perfect. I have to work on areas in my life, but I will still try to teach, because this helps me also. And I thank those. And I thank the reachers and teachers that's out there doing their thing. And I honor your family. And I thank those, again, brothers and sisters that has been riding along on this journey. Salute. I just had to say that. And I honor your family. I honor my family. Salute. I honor my children, their mothers, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you please have the ultimate peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. Salute.